Miami. I just want to talk about them because there's a possibility. And Elias said that he believes they'll be here taking on the Steelers wild card weekend. Jay Ajayi's got 3 games this year in which he's rushed for 200 yards. People still don't want to give him the credit. This guy is a threat. Ryan Tannehill is not there. And Elias said, you know what? I don't know if that's such a big deal after all. I believe that Miami could give the Steelers a game. The question is, do you?
I do. The quarterbacking they're interchangeable pieces. Matt Moore's, same Ryan Tannehill, who cares? That doesn't really make the difference. If they can get that running back to start going off and he gets the legs under him early in a football game against the Steelers, that could be trouble. But I don't think that the Steelers are going to game plan similarly to what they did in Miami, and I think the Steelers shut them down.
All right,
they'll play 11 men in the box. I mean, they'll make the quarterback beat them.
Let me say this, too, before we go any further. And you were talking to your lovely bride before we went on the air. And Sip and Paint, he, meaning his brand, Diolis Law, and Vantage Management Group, and Sip and Paint, her new business, were big sponsors of the Seven Fishes Show. So let me shake your hand. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And I'm going to give you a little time on my dime to tell the folks about Sip and Paint.
Sip and Paint is really a fun business that Pam started. It's a program where you go in. We have an artist there who will teach you to paint a picture. You pick one picture. Everybody in your party comes in, and you're all doing the same picture. You have a little bit of wine or whatever beverage of your choice. Bring some food in. You have a nice night out. It's a really good time. We're doing some fun things with regard to Valentine's Day this year, where some couples things where you come in and you kind of paint a picture. The one person paints one, the other person paints the other, and the pictures will match up. So if you put them on a wall, it looks like one's going into the other, maybe a wine bottle pouring into a glass, or a piece of a heart going onto the other heart, those types of things. And it'll be a really fun event that we're really looking forward to having a big turnout for.
All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, back to what we believe some NFL playoff scenarios could be as we move on to the postseason. Oakland Raiders need a win to clinch the AFC West title and a first-round bye, or Kansas City loss. They are at Denver, and they're giving them a $1.50, meaning 1.5 points.
Yeah, but the Raiders are without their quarterback.
Derek Carr.
That's a huge loss, because you talk about a drop-off from one guy down to what we think. Matt McGloin, we don't know anything about him since his days at Penn State, when he was a pretty good quarterback, but we'll have to see if he can step up to the forefront now. Broncos really don't seem to have much to play for, but it should be an interesting game out there.
All right, Houston Texans, Tommy Savage from Pitt, hail Pitt, AFC South champions. Tennessee, spotting them 3, just for the sheer fact that I love Pitt and I love Tommy Savage. And I said on the show, if he has some good games in the National Football League in the postseason and gets them deep, if I'm Nate Peterman, I'm like, you know what, kind of a prototype, same height, can throw the ball. Hey, maybe you'll strike it, gold and magic twice. So I like the fact that Savage is getting this opportunity, pro-style quarterback. But you brought up something even more intelligent on the program. You got to be thinking that maybe Matt Canada is truly as good as everybody said he is and was in Pittsburgh, and will continue now to do that at LSU.
Yeah, God bless Matt Canada. It's nice to see him get that opportunity. He didn't have a great deal of success. He has a long trail and a history at stopping at a bunch of places, but was able to take that talented group with those Pitt Panthers, and many of them are moving on to the NFL, having gotten their invites to the Combine and the postseason All-Star games, including Nate Peterman, who's going to play in the Senior Bowl, which is the Cadillac of games for the postseason. So congratulations to him, and good luck to him as he moves to LSU.
All right, now you've got Houston, as I said, taking on Tennessee. Who do you like in that game, giving Tennessee 3?
Houston. I like them and you know what's amazing is their defense has been so good without J.J. Watt. I mean, holy cow. If they had him, they may be a whole different breed of contender for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but if I'm ownership, don't be saying renegotiate contract. He's still a beast and the best at that position in the National Football League. Kansas City needs to win to clinch the AFC West title and first-round bye, or Oakland loss. San Diego, 4.5. Same question for you that I asked on the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday show. If it is the end of the line for Phillip Rivers, same age as Eli Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, class of 2004, say if you're Cleveland, you take a chance on him. Is he still a franchise quarterback that maybe jumpstart a football team that needs a little jump in their step offensively?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm Cleveland if I go that direction, because you're not really going to build on a guy that's that old. You maybe be in a different situation where you have a good nucleus of a team and you need a quarterback. Something like perhaps with the LA Rams,
Yeah.
who have the young guy Goff, who maybe still needs a little bit of a tutor. They've got a tremendous defensive line that they can build on. That might be a better place for a guy like that for a 1 or 2 year period.
All right, Miami Dolphins again can clinch a wild card, can move up to the 5th seed with a win, and Kansas City lost versus New England. We talked about that game earlier, but what about Miami as a threat overall postseason? First stop could be here in Pittsburgh. You really give them a fighting chance?
Not to be a Super Bowl contender. No, they could. And hey, if you get in the tournament, you got a chance. You know, you're still alive. But they don't seem to be a team that is really conditioned to make a long run into the playoffs.
You know, one of the reasons why it doesn't happen as far as these teams going deep that you least expect, because the coaching is just that good. Just a few seconds left. I take the Steelers giving 6 to the Browns. What do you do?
Yeah, the Steelers are going to win the game. Browns don't want to win. And so, I think it's going to be one of those scenarios where it's going to be going through the motions. This may be the fastest game in the NFL this year. Everybody's going to just run the ball and run the clock out. This game may be over by 3:30.
I got to ask you, Clemson, Alabama, national championship, January 9th. I'm sorry, big Nick Saban fan. I believe the greatest coach in the history of college football. And if he gets this win, nobody's even going to have an argument that can come close. But I kept thinking about the Panthers beating Clemson. I kept thinking about, obviously, Penn State in the Rose Bowl. Panthers beat them. You can't help, not to say that they'd be playing Alabama for the national championship, but it just makes you realize how good of a team they really did have.
Yeah, and the other losses, the crusher in North Carolina, where you had the team make 3 fourth-down conversions in the last drive to win a game. And you watch North Carolina, and they lose to Stanford in a game where Bug, who was the receiver that made the catch against Pitt to win the game, he drops one in the end zone in that final drive. And you're thinking, why? Just why? One time, couldn't he have dropped that ball against my Panthers and have it happen? But and I was talking about miracles rarely happen for my team, but they did get the miracle with the Clemson game. So that's what college sports is all about. And kudos to the Pitt team this year, Rob. That was a fun football season. You know, all the points that they scored, they didn't win the national championship. We didn't expect them to win a national championship, but they had some really good football games, and they were a lot of fun to watch this year.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know you need just about anything to carve out a championship. Let me tell you how much love I have for my family. Take a look at this. Everybody got to have a little pocket knife, right? When you were kids, you see that right there? Robert M. Pratte. That M stands for Moses. That was my grandfather's when he retired from the former St. Joe's Zinc, which went on to become Zinc America, Horsehead, now the property owned by Shell, the petrochemical plant. So, folks, I think we got a little family thing going this year, so maybe the Steelers, like the Rooneys, will find their way to a victory.
A great little trinket there.
It is, and I always carry it with me because that's familiar. You know what I'm saying? All right, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a great rest of the day. Diolis Law, tell them what you do.
We're a full-service general practice law firm focusing a lot of family law, a lot of probate work, where we'll take care of whatever our families need. People come to us. I will go to your home, to people's home, make sure that they're taken care of in a familiar surrounding so that they don't have to worry about that intimidation factor of having to walk into some huge law office. I'll come to you. I'll take care of all of your needs.
And that phone number is?
Area code 412-736-9638.
Ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a great rest of the week, and you sure can bank it. I will pop up somewhere this week talking sports. Happy New Year.